trainers of all types, drafters of all disciplines. Hello, I'm Caustic11, and this, of course, is the MagneZONE. We're glad to have you here. I'm here, of course, with Adam.
Hey, what's good?
Clutch, who's shifting around noisily.
I'm sorry.
And Sam.
Hey.
So, we're going to be talking about RDL Playoffs. We are temporarily, at least for now, we're going to wait and see how things shake out, but we're temporarily discontinuing our coverage of Alola International. There's just not enough to cover. That's about all I can say about it. We'll see if that picks up. We'll see how it goes from there, but and we'll post we'll do a recap thing if we decide to pick up our coverage again on that. But for now, we'll RDL quarterfinals are done. So we're going to be going into the semifinals this week, right? End of this week?
Indeed.
Correct.
All right, end of this week. Semifinals will take place, and then we will know who's going to be contending for the third RDL championship. Will it be Santoro again? Will we have new faces in this championship? Because there's a possible chance that we literally just have season one again.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm perfectly okay with, though. So let's talk a little bit about the quarterfinals matches. And then, of course, after we do that, we'll do some speculation. And then we're going to do our Mon of the Week. But we'll get to that in just a sec. Oh, we also have something else, All-Star voting.
Yes.
I almost forgot about that. We will be talking about the next stage, the second stage of All-Star voting.
Second and really final.
Yes.
It was a little bit rushed together this season just because I wasn't as up on it as I was last season, but we'll still have a group to pull together. So,
all right. Well, let's talk about the quickest of the 4 quarterfinals matches, which is Ohio Ninetales versus Oregon Golducks. It was really fast because it didn't happen. Oregon forfeit, which is a shame.
It was only marginally the shortest match, though.
Only marginally. There was a shorter match, yes.
Let's go to that one next, I think.
Yeah. LA versus San Antonio, I believe.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Galesburg.
Oh, right.
Brooklyn versus Galesburg.
Right, I forgot.
Galesburg.
Yes. How could I forget?
Really straightforward, pretty simple match. Santoro said, "Hey, I'm gonna lead off with this. Do something about it. Hit a hypnosis, click tail glow, and won."
For
I remember
reference,
doing that last season with a Necrozma. Quite a few times.
Once in particular, and to
so,
be clear,
yeah, we're talking
Zerkatry we're talking about.
Yes, we're talking about Zerk. I wanted to make that clear. Yes, Zerk just swept.
It was kind of a
Santoro said, "Find your answer," and
Galesburg couldn't.
Scarf Como couldn't KO it from full.
No ice shard.
Yeah,
on
no ice shard. That's right, no ice shard on Sneasel. That's a big deal.
Diesel, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what turns it around. If it's there, because then it's like at worst it's like, okay, you lost Coma O, like you can play the rest of your game without a Scarfer, especially
against Santoro.
Especially against Santoro's team. And also the other thing is that if he hadn't landed the hypnosis, that would have been big.
Yeah, that would have been big too.
It's a 60% chance.
Yeah, so it's not exactly a coin flip, but a
little bit.
It's a little bit better than a coin flip. It's basically it's a
weighted coin.
It's rolling. Well, it's rolling a D4, or no, not a D4. It's rolling like a 1 through a 4 on a D6, basically. I think.
Explain.
Maybe not. It's a little bit higher than that. My brain's not working. Okay.
It's rolling a 1, 2, 3, 4 on a 6-sided dice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We're not going to get into that because.
But even it's a little bit lower than that, actually.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on.
It's somewhere between. Okay, it's somewhere between. No, I'm just kidding. All right,
moving on.
Anyway, what happened? What could have happened does not really matter because what happened was Zerkatry destroyed.
It did.
So
It really did.
Zerk did the thing.
Moving on to what is probably the best match.
Oh, thank you.
the of the playoffs. It was Akron versus Seattle, and that was an intense match. It came down to like what two probably like it came down to 2 HP, but it also like 2 points of speed basically.
Yeah. Do we want to rate the brings for
It's
this?
a little more than 2 points. Of
Well,
speed.
a little more than that.
Do we care about the brings for this? I think we care about the brings for this match at least, right? Like
Yeah,
There's nowhere to find the brings though.
I
unfortunately.
mean, I'm staring at my team right now.
Yeah, and I can tell you that like
Yeah, we do have the 2 coaches that played this battle in here with us.
yeah, because I brought Celebi, Infernape, Starmie. What are the other things? Oh, Vikavolt, that was important. Corey-Z.
Yes.
And
Scizor, base Scizor.
It was Mega Caesar. I was just nervous, okay? Like, anyways, and what was your team again, Adam? It was.
I had Breloom, Mudsdale, Jellicent, Miltank, Rotom, and Mega Altaria.
Yeah, I wrote to Clutch at the beginning because and was like just looking at the brings. I texted them to him and was like, "This is not what I prepared for."
Right? There was no Mamo, there was no Scizor, there was no Nihilego, there was no Primarina.
We were happy. No, to be fair, we were happy with that.
We were very happy with that because the thing is that Primarina in particular had sweating bullets.
We have no switches.
Yeah.
0. Now 1.
My only solution to Prim, or like Clutch and I, when we were sitting down and doing it, we were just like, all right, well, Assault Vest, max HP, max Spidef, Vikavolt, I guess, like is a switch in. It pivots off of that. It's an option. Throw Flash Cannon on it so it hits Mamo. And on the bus ride home, I was like, actually, why don't I just run screens?
Jackass.
Hey, now.
Cheeky bastard.
So for those of you who may have forgotten, Adam got Salmon Clutch pretty good during the regular season with a Screens Jellicent.
Screens Rotom H.
Screams Rotom H, and
sitting
Jellicent sat behind it.
prospering.
Yeah, so Screens Rotom H. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well,
A little bit of a silent injustice.
That's okay because I got to smack up that Starmie at the end.
oh yeah,
Ah,
you
that
got
was
some justice, but here's the thing is that I also had the thought of Screens Rotom was actually really just a good bring against us.
Mhm.
And
It was because none of your defoggers want to be in on it.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
didn't even bring a defogger to this match either.
Hey,
So,
Sam.
Yeah. Well, see, yeah, that was the thing is that if you had screens up, I wanted screen. I figured I was screens up on his end could just be game because if Primarina can come in on screens and click buttons.
Oh, yeah. That's.
So I was like, I want screens of my own to match his. I want a screen setter who has consistent recovery, who can set stuff before him. And as much as Rotom H did scare me, Starmie scares Rotom H a little too.
Not when it's scarfed.
Not when it's scarfed, but if it's scarfed, it's not setting screens.
True.
Wink, wink. So, yeah, I'm curious though. What was your intention? What was your thought process in prep? Because that was definitely different than what I expected. And we haven't really talked about
I
this.
knew what did work against you last time. What you'd mainly prep for against me because of what I'd been bringing a lot and falling back on this season. Mamo was obvious. Primarina was really good against you. Scizor had been coming a lot recently and had been doing some work. And Nihilego because I actually had some fun. But I was like, he's going to prep for the obvious threats. So I'm going to figure out a way to hit his team just as hard with something else. So that's why I brought my banded Mudsdale, because you had no switch into that thing, period. I just sat on it too long.
Yeah.
My walls were pretty self-explanatory. I didn't really have that many.
Mm-hmm.
Scarfed Rotom Heat, because it's dual stab plus Shadow Ball, blew your team back. And I didn't think you'd expect Scarf max special attack modest.
Mm-hmm.
And then Breloom was there for Gudra and Hippowdon, and you didn't bring either. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Because it was Toxic Orb, Poison Heal, Sub, Leech Seed, Focus Punch, Facade. That thing would have done the damn thing if you would have brought my sub targets.
I mean, I didn't think I doing this prep with Sam. I didn't think Hippo was very. general.
Yeah.
It's like
You just brought it a lot for rocks, and it was
we brought it
consistent.
a lot early. We've
Yeah,
kind
he's
of,
starting to fall back on it later.
we've definitely pulled a lot
Away from
away
it.
from it, especially since we've acquired Celebi.
I still
Celebi's
figured
actually on
Goodra
this
was
team.
coming.
It would have been possible, but like again, with us being as terrified of Primarina as we were, I think we backed off that a little.
That's
We
fair.
didn't want to give Primarina free turns.
Yo, I was scared of that Scarf Goodra coming in and blowing me back.
Yeah, Scarf Goocher's a good set.
I remember that thought coming through my head at some point during prep. But yeah, like this Breloom, if I could get in, force you out, and click sub, I can either leech see whatever comes in, or I can focus punch, facade, even 2-co Celebi.
Yeah.
Like a bulky, supportive one. Like
Very
you
much
had
so.
nothing to take on that Breloom behind a sub.
Mhm.
That or I could seed you and switch out to something else and get momentum that way.
Yeah. And that's where like, and the funny story for our prep is like, Clutch and I
Explain your Infernape.
Oh my gosh.
Explain that thing.
Remember how I put you off for about 5 minutes before we played? It was because I got home and was like, sat down with Clutch and was like, all right, last minute, like, pre-flight check. Are we still good with this? And we looked at the Infernape set that we were bringing, and we said, this isn't good enough. We
said
bringing...
Scarf Rocks, 3 attacks.
Yeah, we're just like, Scarf Rocks is kind of meh. Like, locking into Rocks is like, gives him opportunities. Like, Jellicent, like, if it comes, like, this doesn't do anything to it. And I had the thought earlier in prep, like, I was like, I could run that bulky, I could run a bulky Infernape, and it could, like, set Rocks, it could slack off, like, and I just didn't really, like, give it too much thought. And then Clutch was like, yo, can we run slack off Infernape here? And I was like, yes, we can.
And this was the 1 week that I didn't slap Heal Bell on my Milk Tank. This was literally the one time I did not bring Heal Bell on Milk Tank or Altaria.
Isn't that always the case,
every
though?
week on one or the other.
Oof.
That's always the case. You bring it, and in some matches you never even use it, and then in the one match you really need it. Don't have
It didn't go.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, you've seen me use it so much, and you
Uh-huh.
still did that. I'm
But I
like,
mean,
okay.
we needed a way to not let Jealous have a free switch, and so therefore Toxic was the obvious answer.
Yeah.
I thought you might go Taunt.
Taunt we thought.
Stop
could-
like
I mean,
Toxic Recover.
I think our first
it's
iteration
kinda
had
risky.
Taunt, but like,
yeah, I think we went Toxic because we didn't want to get walled by Jellicent.
and also like,
And we didn't.
forcing-
And we also.
Mhm.
I don't think we had Toxic on the team at that point either.
Yeah,
Like-
I think that was the thing, was that was the only thing that had any sort of toxic stall. Like,
Mhm.
and it ended up like the crazy thing to me was that it was like that Infernape was like kind of low key an MVP for me. Like,
Mono
behind-
fighting was such a weird bring. I did not see it coming because I'm like, if I
Mhm.
brought Primarina, it prospered.
yeah,
It clicked a free move.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
If I
That's
brought
why we
Jellicent, it
we
prospered.
We got a Assault Vest Bike-a-Volt that kind of switches into Arena.
No. If I have Rocks up, which I did, no.
I mean,
You can't
later
do
in the
that more than
match,
once.
Yeah.
I think that, like, and really what we needed was like we needed Primarina out in that situation. Like, that was the thought process was not that Vika was any sort of long-term answer. It was literally just like a band-aid.
It was
You know,
something we
the-
could throw against the wall, like, here, take this hit for me because I need a body.
Yeah.
Yo,
We figured,
I
yeah,
almost switched in Mudsdale on your first Volt switch. That would have gained me so much momentum because you
It
wouldn't have
would've.
seen Bandit coming. So you just switched out and something would have taken massive
see,
damage.
I would have just energy balled at that juncture though.
Anyway,
Oh, then
let's-
Vika Volt would have
let's-
been gone.
Let's not
But the thing
creep
is
too
that,
much
like-
into theory modding here.
Yeah.
What happened, and it happened to all of us, or at least all of you.
But yeah,
Oh well.
The centerfold of the team was Nasty Pot Celebi. Nasty Pot Celebi just
That
speed tier
thing
was really nice.
Yeah.
Speed tier was fantastic. The coverage, it covered your entire team in 3 moves for either super effective or neutral damage, and the neutral damage murdered everything.
I was
Yeah.
surprised you did that because I'm like, if I'd brought Zoroark and Nihilego, that Celebi wouldn't have done that much.
If you're behind screens, and plus 2 Giga Drain and murders it.
Yeah.
And
the
if
other-
Murder and
you,
Nihilego?
Hmm,
Plus two psychic.
yeah. The
Celebi's a strong boy.
Yeah, but
uh,
Nihilego outspeeds.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
behind
well-
screens.
And then they'll be pulling a scissor and quick swords dance.
I think
like,
But
we have
the more important thing in this case was definitely that, like, not descending into the Therian here, is that, like, I think we both, like, Clutch and I were, like, as long as we have a Caesar, Nihilego, not that scary to us. It didn't have a great matchup against our team anyway. So we had stuff for it, and I think part of the reason that Celebi looked so good to us was because the things that it ran into issues with, Zoroark, Nihilego, were opportunities for Caesar to come in and, like, bullet punch, that Caesar, mind you, was also Swords Dance.
True.
That thing was there. Like, we were pretty confident with those two in tandem that we could get, like, they kind of broke for each other a little bit. We could get one or two of them going, and one of them would hopefully punch through.
Yeah.
The fact that Celebi turned out to work was super exciting, though.
All right.
Yeah, you really hadn't done that much offensively with it this season.
no.
Not at all.
All right. So that brings us to our final match, and I think I watched this match, but I can't remember because I've been doing a lot of Mons related stuff, so it's all kind of turned into a blur over the past, like, week and a half. And that was the LA Chargebugs versus the San Antonio Sceptiles. I remember this being a pretty decent battle. Like,
It was.
It was okay.
Meta went really early in on the Slurpuff because, like,
which is what
Dominator
Meta a
didn't-
lot of times does. It's kind of
but Dominator didn't bring much of an answer for it. His out was a fake out from Amazon.
I think we found my version of the Sam Cresselia button, where if you mention Cresselia sweeping a team, Sam gets irrationally angry.
Oh no, you don't even have to mention Cresselia sweeping a team. Anyone who thinks that Cresselia is, like, a good or, like, skill-based mon, I think that they are probably okay, but they should also probably see a therapist. Like,
And I'm of a similar feeling about that goddamn cupcake.
It's a dog.
It's on. If you look at Meta's team, it's one of its very few sources of offensive pressure.
Yeah.
It's either Mence, Heatran, or Slurpuff. Like,
Yeah.
Blastoise can be offensive, and Hoopa-U.
Hoopa.
I forget Hoopa-U, but, like,
yeah,
Yeah.
Hoopa-U's there.
there's
Yeah.
There's-
Hoopa-U doesn't create offensive pressure. I don't know what you're talking about.
one of very few sources. The rest of that team
Yeah.
is very defensive.
You're right. Yes. That is a true statement.
There's maybe 3 or 4 sources on the team of offensive pressure, and the rest is all, like, things that switch into stuff, which is fine.
Right.
But it does put a lot of pressure on something like a Slurpuff, and it does allow it to be a little targeted. And just Dominator just didn't have that true out on that Slurpuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that there are players who are less tentative with going for their setup with, like,
Yeah.
one shot belly drum type mons, or, like, with their setup in general. And there are people who are more tentative, and, like,
See,
I don't know. I think that Meta, because what did he do? He momented with Whimsicott on something or other, and just belly drum.
The Florgus,
Florgus, yeah.
which was the thing to Memento on, if he's giving Memento on anything.
yeah. Well, this is the thing I've been noticing with Meta all season. He's gotten better and better at picking his moment to go for the throat. Because it used to be a lot of times when you saw Meta play that he would sometimes wait too long, or sometimes he would go in too early and lose his win con, and then usually the match swiftly after, right? But more and more recently, he's been pretty good about finding that moment to get that momentum swing in there and just start plugging away with his win con.
Sometimes I think that there's been a couple awkward scenarios, like, even, like,
Well, yeah, I'm not saying
you
he's
want-
I'm not saying he's gotten demonstrably better. Like, I shouldn't say demonstrably better. That's not the word I'm thinking of. But, like, I'm not saying that he got, like, suddenly he's now a master of it or anything like that. No, he's still making, like, some errors and when he goes for his setup mon, but he's been getting steadily better at it, I think.
Yeah, I'd say that, like, the thing with, and I think that this is more a trait of, like, Slurpuff sometimes than it is of, like, Meta, which is that Slurpuff's, like, sweeps, if you try to kind of go for it early, like, if you're not, like, waiting until your team's whittled, then Slurpuff has kind of its awkward moments. Like it kind of spiffs and sputters a little bit because it's like it's still like it's a +6 Mon, but it's still a +6 Slurpuff. You know what I mean? Like
base like 74 attack. Like
Oh yeah, no.
It may have gotten that belly drum easily, but like
well,
it's still like only gonna do so much.
The thing with Slurpuff is it's not so much the belly drum, or the +6 that makes it truly truly dangerous, because it's not very fast either. It's that unburden boost. So if you can like one of the best ways to deal with Slurpuff, like looking back on it, and this is like something a mistake that I've made on both the occasions that I've got swept by Slurpuff, is you just have to have like a way to force it out after it's already procced its berry or whatever it's done. Because the other thing is it doesn't take like chip well, and even though it is +6, like you said, it's only +6 on on base 74 attack. If you got something that can tank one hit and crack back, there's ways to deal with it.
I mean, you just have to. You just have to apply. It's just to continuously apply pressure.
Right.
Like
yeah.
There's nothing. But like the way he sets it up, like almost every time, is with that memento. So it's hard to continuously apply pressure when you're -2.
Right. Yeah. And he at least this battle he did it. He did what you said. He hit it on that memento on like the perfect Mon to hit memento on, and got that momentum.
Yep. I mean, I think it could have waited. Yeah, it could have waited a little bit more, but it didn't have to, because I mean that he ended up blowing the game wide open. Because I think that the mistake that, and I think that this was interesting because like I think I saw Dominator's team before the match, and I was like, oh, fake out on Ambipom, that's smart. Like you can whittle down Slurpuff that way. And then what I like neglected to think about was like, well, Slurpuff running Drain Punch is going to Drain Punch a Crocodile, get back a whole bunch of health from that, and you really can't outpace it with fake outs. Slurpuff is interesting because it's like it's one of those things that once you have it dealt with, you have it dealt with. Like if you bring the right prep, and there are a lot of ways to bring the right prep against Slurpuff, then.
Honestly, I think one of the simplest ways is if you have like a really fast Mon that knows taunt. That's a really simple way to do it, but that's like you have to maneuver yourself a little bit.
I think you also have to accept that a good player with Slurpuff will probably find an opportunity to try and get it off against you, unless you just control the momentum of the whole game.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, to me, like the best thing you can do against a Slurpuff, I mean, a taunted Slurpuff is not an issue typically, but also like if you pack something like a sturdy Mon or like
or Focus Sash, depending on like what your team comp is. Yeah, there's some.
Yeah, that's like a worst. Like that's if you're really afraid of it. If you have some odd Mons have a like Unnerve and can switch in.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you have Unnerve on your team, that's a really good way to deal with it too.
Unnerve is nice. What else?
Unaware.
Unaware.
Oh
also,
yeah.
Oh right. Obvious one here.
Yeah, that's actually.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and
of course, priority is another one.
Well, and actually, Unaware is especially good here because the two most viable Unaware users. Do not give a crap about Drain Punch at all. Because Quagsire gives absolutely zero craps about Drain Punch. And Clefable gives even less craps about Drain Punch.
Even fewer.
Yes. Well, if we're going to go that route, yes. Yes, Sam. That is how it's grammatically supposed to be structured.
Or just back Bullet Punch if you have it.
Yeah.
If you have a Caesar or a Mega Caesar
or a Hariyama
or a Metagross,
a Metagross, a good Steel type like a Lucario. If you got something with Bullet Punch, you are aggressively unafraid of a Slurpuff if you bring that thing.
Yeah.
So like if meta, we can talk about that later, but like I think that this is the thing is that like Meta will play Mike next, and that'll be interesting. And if I make it, if Meta makes it, I'm not too worried about Slurpuff with that Mega Caesar chilling there.
No, yeah, you've got.
But that's
Right. And
it's a week ahead of things, but hey.
It's Slurpuff. I think the other reason that you usually see a lot of these Slurpuff sweeps, and honestly, the second time it happened to me, I should have known better, which is that you look at it, right? And a lot of people, me included, my first and second time getting swept by Hit, you look at it and you're like, I got steel types, I got poison types, we're good. I don't need to worry about this thing.
Yo, he's bringing that Coal Mine flamethrower set against you.
Oh, that's the heat.
Yeah, that's the
literal heat. It's flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So anyway, now we have our semifinals, which is the number 4 seeded in the Moon Conference. We have the number 4 seeded Seattle Supersonics versus the number 2 seeded Brooklyn Bulbasaurs. And in the Sun Conference, we have the number 1 seeded Ohio Ninetales versus the number 2 seed Los Angeles Chargebugs. So let's talk about, we'll flip this around. We'll talk about Sun first. We'll talk about Ohio versus LA.
All right, let's do it.
This is going to be a pretty fun match to watch, I think, regardless. But I do think that Mike's team has the edge. Because Mike's team is, frankly, pardon my French, fucking busted.
It's
Fucking
ridiculous. You have two of the best mons in the format in Landorus and Megalotti. Volcanian's a fantastic breaker with Landorus. In on so many different attacks.
Mm-hmm.
The low tier monsters jive really well with it. Galvantula's great with webs. Volcanion really appreciates being on webs. Landorus loves being on webs.
Kyurem likes having webs up on the other team.
Megalodios, a good offensive Megalodios.
Mm-hmm.
Likes offensive. His team jives really well. It fills out all the quantities you really need to like.
It really does click together very well.
Snorlax can actually take on a Hoopa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can.
That boy is too thick.
Yep. Snorlax is actually I think Snorlax is going to be a major player in this.
Snorlax could be a serious problem for Meta's team. He doesn't have a strong fighting type.
No, the closest thing he's got is Drain Punch on that Slurpuff, and that's like.
I mean,
no, he has Drain Punch on
Hoopa U's gonna.
Oh yeah, Hoopa U. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, Hoopa U gets fighting.
Not
coverage.
if he invests in that Snorlax, right?
I mean, Banded Drain Punch is gonna do elite. Banded Hyperspace Fury is gonna do a ton. It's a Banded base 160 attack mod. Base 160 attack mod. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
it is. But you can prep right where all it's gonna do is pop the 50% berry.
Well, and
then you just take another one.
Well, it's gonna depend. It's definitely gonna depend on the set that Snorlax is running, because there's a lot of different sets it can run here for a lot of different reasons. You also have to remember that with Hoopa Unbound, we're talking like Lando T. If he predicts the switches right or does something, Lando T, one U-turn from anything is bringing Hoopa U down, and especially if it's Lando T, right? Like, this is that simple.
I mean, Lando's gonna take a beating from hyperspace.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's not like by itself.
Mike has good dark resist. He has two great dark types in general. He's Skuntank and Scrafty. He's gonna take nothing much, but anyway.
Yeah.
But as a breaker, Hoopa U is a really nice bring in this matchup.
Yeah, I do think we're gonna see Hoopa U in some capacity for sure. I think Hoopa U is gonna be a major player for Chargebugs in this one.
Because it's also something if you run. I mean, it denies a few things. It just denies so much on Mike.
Yeah, it forces Mike to bring Scrafty, I feel.
Or Scrafty looks like could be a bring here.
Scrafty's kind of like Scrafty's actually like a really good check to it. To be honest.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. I think Lando T is always kind of a major player in any matchup because it's Lando fucking T.
Oh yeah.
Lando does whatever the heck it wants.
Yeah, Lando, like I said before, it fits on just about every team comp. So, and there's a reason for that. But I think another lower tier major player, I think Skuntank is good for this matchup. We talked about the aforementioned Slurpuff. Skuntank walls that pretty hard. Well, not walls, but Skuntank can deal with Slurpuff. There's ways to deal with Slurpuff with Skuntank. I could see Ferrothorn coming because Ferrothorn's a pretty good wall here. Like, so that's what I think for Mike's team. If we look at the Charger Bugs, Heatran I think is a probable bring here. He's gonna have to watch out for Scrafty if he's bringing Heatran. Like, fighting types.
Yeah. Also for that, the Landorus Therian in the back.
Yeah, he's gonna have to watch out for Lando T for sure. Yeah.
Lando's kind of an interesting thing against he has to have something for Lando and Lando switch in Cress and Salamence aren't worried about your Earthquake and Mence isn't really worried about U-turn. Cress isn't either.
What do you think of a Spexcurum here as a breaker?
It could do work.
Trouble like locking in Blastoise. Doesn't care. Blastoise and Heatran don't care about Ice Beam, but if you run Earth Power, it gives immense free turns.
Yeah.
You have to be careful about what you lock into and when.
This is easily like a Life Orb set. Do just fine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think Life Orb would be, if he's gonna bring Kyurem, Life Orb would be a better bring because he's gonna want that flexibility. Because the problem is if he locks into Earth Power, he's forced to hard switch or lose the Kyurem if because Salamence just comes in on that. And
Salamence gets a free turn.
Yeah, Salamence gets like a free D dance or whatever it is that he's running for setup, and I'm betting Salamence is coming.
How much of a problem do you think Mence is?
I think if he's running Life Orb Kyurem, I don't think Salamence is as much of an issue.
I think Mike struggles to revenge base 100 with this team, just the way it naturally. He doesn't have anything that's base 100 as a Scarfer. It can be Scarfed.
Oh wow, yeah.
Especially with the fact that if he clicks D-Dance, he's outspeeding Landorus.
So he's outspeeding the entire team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One D-Dance, he outspeeds this entire team.
Because you can't Scarf a Mega Latias. The only thing he could possibly do to catch +1 Landorus, assuming that +1 Landorus is Jolly, is
pray it's Adamant. Yeah, Scarf Gal. But
no.
Yeah,
no. That's an unset.
Focus Sash Galvantula.
Maybe.
That's pretty common.
That.
Yeah, Sash Gal is a thing. It's also,
if you run
commonly.
If you run Unnerve, it takes away the fact that he can run a Yachi Berry to live it.
Fair.
That's kind of an interesting point.
That is, because that'd actually be
that'd really help against something like a Hoopa.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it'd be good against Hoopa.
Oh shit! I might have just given something away.
The Unnerve would also be good against Slurpuff. Keep it from hitting that. Yep. Keep it from hitting that berry. Also with if the sash is still up at that point.
What were we just talking about?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but I figured we bring it up with the rest of what we've already brought up.
Oh yeah. No, I just happened to chance upon that, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
practical example.
Now Heatran has to watch out for Volcanion because Volcanion, it's packing. It doesn't really care about the fire stab. On Heatran, doesn't really care about the steel stab either, and it could be if the Volcanion's running Earth Power,
or just Steam Eruption.
Yeah, either or. It doesn't want to take either one.
What switches into a Volcanion on Meta's team?
Maybe Electivire if he's not packing Earth Power.
Evire dies.
An AV Max Pedef Electivire?
Maybe.
Crest probably switches in.
Yeah, Crest probably does, yeah. But mind you, Crest could get... And actually, he might not mind getting Crest burned because Crest would much rather be burned than toxicked.
Yeah, it's a tough switch.
If he specs, he's got 50% chance to 2-ko after rocks.
Yeah.
And leftovers to a almost fully Spadef Crest. Jesus, this mon is a threat.
Yeah, Volcanion hits hard.
Oh my god.
130
Why did we let Sam get this in TPL?
I don't know, man.
Anyway, yeah, Volcanion's been one of those other mons that I've had a checkered history with. Anyway, he doesn't really have a good switch in for Volcanion.
Yeah, that could be a mid to late game break
Sweeper,
/
yeah.
sweep.
Well, because if it's packing grass coverage, and it gets some good grass coverage, and let's not forget, it's one of his Z users.
Z sunny day weakness policy. Mike, listen. You take a shot from your fire, you hit +2, you click flame charge, you go +2, +1 sweep.
Can't fail, guaranteed.
Dude, Entei's do it. Why can't the Volcanion?
You're not wrong on that score. You're not wrong on that.
Volcanion's
that could be
thicker
pretty.
than an Entei.
That could be pretty fire if he pulls that off.
Fire, I see what you did there.
Aha! Yes, puns. We have them. So let's move on. I think we've talked. I think we've gone over the meat of this matchup. Real quick though, predictions. I think Ohio has the edge here.
It's a close match.
It's going to be close.
I go Ohio. I gotta give it to Mike.
I'm going Mike.
I just think I've seen more consistent results from Mike over the like.
Meta can easily prove us wrong. He has in the past.
Oh, yo, I don't think this is a close.
Yeah, don't interpret my prediction as a doubt of
Meta's one game behind. Meta's 8-4. Mike is 9-3 in this. The regular season. Like it's a one game difference.
It's a one game difference. I think it's going to be a close match. I think it's going to be a fun match to watch.
He's pulling off his triple tier 1 team well.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
All right.
The other side, Seattle and Brooklyn.
Yep. Seattle and Brooklyn. This is going to be this is going to be a good battle as well.
Oh, some good semis matchups.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm excited about this semifinals. This is going to be one of I think this of the three, this is going to be up there like for the best semifinals that we've had.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna be biased.
Of the 3?
3 seasons.
Yeah, 3 seasons.
Oh, I think
of the three seasons of semifinals, I think this semifinals.
You have me over here doing some weird mental math. Going one. How am I getting 3?
Well, you've had math on the mind, my dude.
You're right.
I'm picking Seattle.
Yeah, Clutch picks Seattle. Oh, shocker. Oh, no. So
I feel like I'm sorry, but I feel like this might be Santoro's season.
It might be.
I feel like he's got it with his team.
I wouldn't. Santoro's ridiculous.
Well, you can never doubt Santoro.
Playoff Santoro.
No, we don't doubt Santoro here.
No. So major players. I've got to look at these rosters side by side. Hold on a minute.
I can see Arcanine putting in some work.
Yeah, Arcanine could be really good here.
Especially he brings like that offensive. He can run physical or special. Like either way, he can hit. Actually, I could see a special one coming. Despite the fact that you have that thick boy Gudra.
Yeah. I'll understand, Sam, if you don't really, and Clutch too as well, if you guys don't want to chime in as much on this part.
Yeah, I know this prep.
Yeah, like, don't say a word.
Yeah,
don't say a word.
Adam and I will carry the conjecture here.
Let me see what else we got here. Banded D Knight.
Oh yeah, that could be.
I mean,
really
like
good.
the best switch-ins. What Mega Scizor? There's a chance for a Fire Punch. Hip out. Gramble. Gramble is actually not a bad switch-in if he's not packing.
Gramble could be good here. I think Gramble could be some good low-key tech for this.
Yeah, I could Gramble get Super Fang. That's a great way to wear down those walls.
Yep. It's a good way to deal with Mega Venusaur. It's a good way to, get some. Because I mean, Mega Venusaur is probably coming in on Granbull. Well,
I wonder if Mega Venusaur comes.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if it does because we got
Psychic types plus Staraptor plus Scizor, which you can catch it with an HP Fire, but I don't.
HP Fire does jack nothing.
He did it before.
Oh, that's HP Fire to Mega Venusaur. My bad.
Yeah, he's talking about Mega Venusaur.
No, other way around.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I'm like, no, that thing's thick fat with like 122.
Yeah. Fire doesn't work on this grassy boy.
Bounces off that boy.
Just ricochets off. This is actually a tough one.
I think it's a really close matchup.
I see Crobat coming. I definitely see Crobat coming.
Yeah. Crobat.
Either with like supportive, like taunt, U-turn, or like.
Oh
maybe
no,
Nasty
I know what
Bat.
he's
Maybe
bringing.
Nasty Bat if he gets Goodra out of the way.
No, I definitely know what he's bringing. Like I can see into the future, and I'm seeing Flame Orb, Facade, Dragonite.
Oh, what'd you get?
Because you'll note, there's one thing missing from this Seattle Supersonics roster, and that is a Ghost type.
Man, if he brings Flame Orb, Facade, Dragonite, I'm gonna be so happy when he breaks his own multi-scale.
Yeah. I'm just making callbacks. I'm just making.
Loses to Flame Orb, Facade, Dragonite. We take that L.
We
What
fucking do. You're right. Like, yeah, absolutely.
I was just making a callback because
Yeah.
you know, pseudo legendary dragon. Has potential for physical attacks. No ghost type on the opposing team in the semifinals of an RDL season. I couldn't not make that joke.
Yeah.
You gotta.
So anyway, on that note though, I could see Piloswine making an appearance here as well. It takes electric hits from Vikavolt. It gets that priority ice move against Goodra, and Goodra's a bulky boy, but Goodra's mostly specially bulky. You can tech for physical bulk, and he'll tank those ice hits better, but Chip is Chip, my dudes. And
I mean, it Icicle crashes before it.
Well, I mean, it probably Icicle crashes before Ice Shards, but it does have that potential for priority. Also, it's not bad against Hippowdon. It's not bad against Staraptor either. So, and Celebi doesn't like getting Icicle crashed.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I
doesn't like getting Icicle crashed, but Piloswine also doesn't like getting Giga Drained, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right
it goes
there.
back and forth, but like,
Yeah.
like a support Celebi is not going to like, I don't know. A
Yeah.
support Piloswine probably isn't KOing with Icicle Shard, and like a support Celebi isn't.
That's
KOing
fair.
with Giga Drain, like.
I wouldn't.
Mhm.
Let's just say I wouldn't be surprised if Piloswine makes an appearance here.
Mhm. You think Ditto turns up?
Well, considering
I don't think you have enough setup to warrant it.
no, because like you've got a lot of stuff that already has good out of the box hitting power. Like you're not running a
We've
team.
shown in the past that PZ is a threat, and Fernape has definitely been shown to be a threat.
Yeah,
You're right, but I just don't see.
We just
Ditto.
shown in our last matchup that
I mean, like,
Nasty Pot Celebi is kind of a thing that exists and is a threat.
that's true. I mean,
Mhm.
I guess it depends on how much stock he takes in the last battle, in the quarterfinal battle. If he looks at that quarterfinal battle and decides, you know what, I don't like the thought of Nasty Plot Celebi. They've run other setups before. Then yes, he brings Ditto. If he decides, I mean, I'm not like if he decides that the setups aren't gonna be good enough, then he doesn't bring Ditto. That's what it comes down to, really.
Yeah. I mean, you run into weird things where when like Mega Caesar is a setup mon, like Ditto can Ditto it, but like
It's gonna do
Yeah.
about 13 damage back.
Yeah,
it's just-
like-
you're just gonna have two Caesars bullet punching each other, and like,
Yeah, and it's
and Ditto's lower HP stat means it loses that.
and also Ditto only gets 5 PP for each of those moves that it steals, so you can just PP stall it and force it to struggle to death.
yeah.
I mean,
I think that Ditto. Wow. I think
Ditto.
that Ditto has a bit of a weird time.
yeah, I don't think. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Most of your setup mons, because Celebi's not gonna care about taking psychics back at itself as much.
Mhm.
It's not gonna care about getting Giga Drained back at itself as much. You know what I mean? Especially when it knows that the Celebi across from it has like a third the PP on all of its moves.
All right, so what do we see coming from the other side now?
On Seattle side.
Yeah, Seattle side.
Yeah, on
We talked
Seattle
about
side.
Brooklyn Springs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be dead silent.
Yeah, I think both of you would
Yeah,
benefit
both
from
of you,
some silence.
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You bet.
Okay,
No,
Staraptor.
I'm out.
Yeah, I think
Staraptor.
Staraptor.
Staraptor, Staraptor.
Bravebird everything. Bravebird's so many things. All of the things. Nothing but things. Just
I wonder if they go for momentum. Like
Yeah.
Staraptor, Mega Scizor, Infernape, Celebi,
yeah.
Vikavolt. and just turn around this entire team.
Turning. Wow.
Oh, and then bring like, I say bring Hippowdon as like a suicide lead for rocks, and then just force the switches and turns. Turn.
Well,
revolving door that shit.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Brooklyn isn't gonna like having rocks up against it. Like, Dragonite doesn't want to come in on rocks. Arcanine doesn't want to come in on
Crobat
rocks.
doesn't want to come in on rocks.
Crobat definitely doesn't want to come in on rocks. Like, even if he did bring Ditto doesn't like coming in on rocks either. So
we said we don't see 100% Mega Venusaur coming. What if they bring Toxic Spikes?
They could do
Toxic
that.
Spike, that Suicune, that
Yep.
Arcanine, that Piloswine, that Reuniclus. That way you can check if it's Regen or Magic Guard.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to scout for that too. Yeah, I could see it.
I like Starmie's speed tier here.
Yeah.
With only Crobat being higher than it.
Yeah, that actually puts it in a pretty good spot. Let me see here. What else we got? I could see Celebi coming in some capacity.
Oh, that thing gets rocks too.
Yep, Celebi gets rocks. Celebi's also good against Venusaur on the off chance that it does come. Celebi's good against.
How do they stop that Zerk?
That
Goodra?
I mean,
Because I feel like that Zerk would bring what? T-Bolt, HP Fire, D-Gleam,
yeah,
and Energy Ball?
yeah. It has to bring some.
You can't do that because it needs.
If Xurkitree comes, it has to bring some sort of coverage to deal with Hippowdon. Because if it doesn't, Hippowdon's gonna just halt it and then punch it back.
It can't pack the coverage for Goodra, Scizor, and Hippowdon and set up.
Yeah, so
unless it doesn't bring stab.
I'm not so certain Xurkitree.
Which I mean,
I'm not so certain.
If I open Ascension, it could be possible.
I mean, it could be, but I'm not so certain Xurkitree comes to this battle.
Santoro is literally, you know, the final frame of those like increasingly like woke memes.
Oh,
He-
no.
The mind
If
is, like,
he
becoming
brought
more and more
non-stab Zerk,
transcendent.
he hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santoro will have transcended all things.
We just
found a new Flamewar facade, and it's non-stab Zerkatry.
Oh my god.
Literally,
If he brings
Sabo
not
hits so hard. Base
See-
173 is ridiculous.
yeah, I mean,
I guess he could
everything.
say screw it to HP Fire and just rely on T-Bolt to hit Mega Scizor.
I mean, it's a neutral
And
hit.
go-
It is a
Base
neutral
173
hit.
neutral attack.
What's it gonna do? Bullet?
But that also means Vikavolt kind of walls it if he's running D-Gleam and E-Ball with
Yeah.
T-Bolt.
yeah, that's the kicker. That's why I don't think Xurkitree
Yeah.
is
So it comes
showing
down
up.
to either he's confident in beating some of those,
Or
whether it be like-
right, yeah, I guess it does depend on how confident he is in the rest of his team dealing with the things that are gonna wall his Zerk.
Yeah, I do
do you
think
see
that he's not
Suicune
going-
coming here?
Hmm?
You see Suicune coming? Just to be the annoying pressure stalling bitch it always is.
I mean, it could be. It
I mean,
yeah,
Toxic looks so good against this team.
yeah, Toxic could be
Put
good
Goodra
here.
and Hippowdon on timers.
Mm-hmm.
Bliss.
Yep. And that actually
Ooh,
and by putting those
shit,
on
that might be
timers,
like
if he wears them down, because maybe that's his plan. He brings Suicune, he tries to like toxic stall the things, like whatever it is he didn't, bring, like whatever he didn't prep for with Zerk. He plans on like taking it out with Suicune by toxic stalling it.
I wonder if a Grand Bowl comes with Super Fang and Heal Bell.
I could see that. Yeah, that would actually be pretty fire too, because the Super Fang does a real good job of, it cuts down Suicune.
All those big bulky walls.
Yep.
And then Heal Bell to keep the rest of his team alive and from being pressure stalled.
Yeah.
Or toxic stalled. Same difference.
Yep. I can see it.
So Volley could come. Again, depends on what he feels like he struggles with.
Right. And that's, yeah.
So Volley speed tier is not bad. There's only, what,
Yeah.
3 mods higher than it?
Mm-hmm. And
Four?
for names, Starmie, Celebi,
Staraptor.
Staraptor. Yeah. Yeah, I could. I,
Drapion ties it.
mm-hmm. Drapion ties it. I mean, I guess it would depend on the type of Silvally. Because if he could bring like Silvally Steel, maybe. He runs that. I don't know if he runs that. Maybe if he feels like it. The thing is, it's Santoro, so I don't know. Like, we're making predictions here, but we're probably gonna be completely wrong because
I
Santoro
see
has a way
Cobalion
of.
coming. I see something like first 4 plus
Yeah, I could see that.
Uniclus and Crobat.
That seems legit to me, and I think because of Cobalian's probable bring, I think Infernape makes an appearance potentially.
Yeah, I could see a Scarf Infernape here.
Yeah, I think Scarf Infernape could be a potential bring here. I think Pori Z might make an appearance.
That thing's just a threat. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, you force something out, get a free Nasty Plot or Agility?
Yeah.
It's causing problems.
Can confirm that is a pretty brutal thing to deal with.
Problem.
Yep.
There's a Ditto in the back though, so like.
But Houston, we now have a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
That a Ditto just copies us and then sweeps the rest of us.
See, here's the thing: if you bring a Nasty Plot Porygon, and he comes in, even if he's Scarfed, if you bring Scarfed Infernape, you'd still outspeed him. So as long as you have Infernape around you, you can still revenge it.
After losing a line.
True, but if Porygon's already broken something or busted a hole, maybe that's all you needed it to do. Maybe that's all you wanted it to do. Just like break this one specific thing, and I'm happy.
The other thing to think about here is Porygon Z kind of already hits like a freight train out of the box. Like,
this is facts.
And there's not a lot of note. Yeah, Silvally Ghost I think is a potential bring here because it's got that normal immunity, so he can't like Pori Z can't just sweep through this team with Tri Attack. I mean, Cobalion resists, but like
special defense ain't there.
Yeah, ain't that great, and
it gets psychic. So
yeah, so I could definitely see like Pori Z not. I could see a set other than like setup Pori Z that just comes in and starts wreaking havoc.
Yeah, maybe like a Specs or something like that.
Yeah, I could see Specs. That would just be brutal. Also, you got to remember it's one of their Z captains, so like Z Hyper Beam.
Oh.
Yeah. Z Hyper Beam. Something is dead.
No. Oh no. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, so like I think Pori Z is definitely a possible bring here. I would even say a likely bring. And because of that, I think
Silvally Ghost may have to be a bring.
Silvally Ghost is, I would say, a pretty smart idea here. But there, it's Santoro. You could see like he sees the code. He's like Neo. He
sees the good brings and then finds better ones.
Yeah, we'll see. Check that off of your bingo cards, by the way.
Why did I never realize this thing had 135 special attack before they drafted it?
Yeah, Pori Z is brutal.
Plus adaptability.
Plus adaptability.
I mean, like it's one of those things where like adaptability is like it removes the need to run coverage for things.
Because you're just like, I don't care. I'm clicking Tri Attack.
Yeah.
Then your coverage moves, unless it's a resisted hit, in which case, click something else.
Yeah.
Even then. Like.
In which case, hit a quad.
Yeah, why not?
Something like a Mega Scizor comes in, just click HP Fire. It's fine.
It'll die.
Yeah, Pori Z is. And its speed tier is not half bad.
90s?
No, 90's definitely workable. It's really workable in this match.
Yep.
Because he has what? 3 months above 90?
Yeah. So
4. Sorry, 4.
So I see Pori Z in some capacity here.
You can see Vikavolt.
I could see Vikavolt.
Yo, I'm pretty sure we've said we can see at least 9 of the 11 on both squads.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing, isn't it? Like,
that's
when you're talking
teams. They're well-rounded.
Yeah, most of these playoff teams are super well-rounded. Like, it's tough to predict what they're going to bring because
everything's a threat.
Everything's a threat.
Everything is a problem.
Well, what was the Assassin's Creed? Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Like that's kind of what it is here with like semifinals teams right now, especially this season.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then in that case, go through look at both teams and tell me one thing on each team that you definitely don't see coming. Then.
Okay, I look at these teams and I think on the Brooklyn side, I don't see Reuniclus. I don't see Reuniclus. Vikavolt can hit it pretty hard. Drapion hits it hard. Mega Caesar deals with it pretty well. Like there's just too many. There's too many things that can and like Gudra walls it, and so I don't see Reuniclus coming.
Mm.
And then from Seattle?
From Seattle side, it's a bit tougher, but I'm looking back and forth here. I don't think Drapion comes. I don't think Drapion comes. Because you got Piloswine, you got, Arcanine can run fighting coverage, Cobalion can deal with it. Like there's
So I'm just gonna go ahead and disagree with you on both.
Okay. That's fair. No,
So,
it's opinions here. We're talking opinions.
Brooklyn, Piloswine's not coming.
Okay.
That's not the move. He's got two great knockoffers in Drapion and Mega Scizor. He has Infernape with stab super effective, Starmie with stab super effective, Celebi can hit it hard, Porygon Z blows through it, Vikavolt can deal with it, Gudra can deal with it. Piloswine ain't coming.
Okay.
Seattle, Hippowdon's not coming.
Okay. Yeah, I could. That's fair.
Free Suicune. That's free Mega Venusaur. And even though Sand nerfs Synthesis, it's still a free Leech Seed. And he doesn't. I mean, Celebi's too obvious. He can predict that and click Sludge Bomb.
All right. Well, let's move on from this. Let's go on to we've got our predictions here. I can't see a clear outcome between Seattle and Brooklyn. I'm not gonna make a prediction either way. And with that,
a good game.
Yeah.
I'd like to actually have a good game against Santoro in playoffs rather than Necrozma destroying me.
Yeah.
It would be nice to not have a repeat.
Yeah, so let's move on to let's hit the All-Star voting now. Let's talk about that, Sam.
Why not? We can get through this very quickly.
Yeah.
Because I put out two kind of feelers on what we should have for our All-Stars. I got some responses, tallied them up, and we can go through all of the results, as a matter of fact. So
Okay.
I threw some of the rules out, by the way, from the previous season. We had when I went through and kind of did kind of the nomination process myself, it felt like this season was a little bit interesting in the sense that really the mons that had performed really, really well were heavily weighted towards the top 3 tiers. It's not like last season where we had some kind of interesting standouts with Keck and with Jellicent and things like that.
Hey, Jellicent did work this season.
It did, but Jellicent's a tier 3 now.
True.
So
there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. I'm opening up the document, and oh yeah, and the other it's worth noting that the other restriction that was removed is that we pretty much have two from a couple teams here, but I just went with the top 8 vote getters. So to list those off real quick, I'm going to start with the Moon Conference because it's the one that's first on my list. So we have 8 All-Stars in both conferences, and for the Moon Conference, we have Mamoswine, no surprise. We have Mega Altaria, also not really a surprise. Mega Venusaur, Ditto, Mega Lopunny, Tapu Koko, Mienshao, and Staraptor. That's it. So we have a Rochester was represented with Coco. We have one from my team with Staraptor. San Jose got on the board. Hive has an All-Star. Me and Xiao made it. And then Akron and Brooklyn had 2 All-Stars apiece. Mega Venusaur and Ditto is like a super interesting combo to like see go off in a season. And Mamoswine and Mega Altaria, like that's a solid pairing.
Just
That's-
funneled all of the kills to them.
Yeah, I mean, you used them just fine.
Actually, I really didn't. I had so many with other mods.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the list there. If we move on to the Sun Conference, we have also kind of a clustering distribution here. From the Ohio Ninetales, we have Ferrothorn and Megalodios. From Oregon, we have Tangrowth. From the San Antonio Sceptiles, we have Manaphy and Crocodile. And Thunderous T. Holy shit. They had 3.
But no Megalodios.
No Megalodios. They had 4 Mons nominated, and Megalodios was the one that didn't make the cut.
Wow.
And then,
Honestly, I think some of that might be nostalgia for Crocodile.
Well, Crook had more kills, so it went 11 to.
Well, that's true too. Also,
Kruk also
like,
went in.
let's talk about the fact that Kruk made it twice in a row now. I think Kruk tier 2 confirmed.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll throw this in as well. To Cossack's chagrin, we next have Slurpuff from the Los Angeles Chargebugs.
That didn't shock me that much.
Rip.
And the true nostalgia pick. Can anyone guess what the last one is?
Tapu Koko.
No.
Kecleon.
Oh,
From the
Kecleon.
Ohio. Nope. From the Ohio Ninetales, we have Kyurem.
Oh, yes! No longer snubbed.
No longer snubbed. So
Kieran, we're so proud of you. We knew you could do it.
I'll be compiling the list and throwing them in announcements tomorrow, shortly after the podcast is posted. So we'll just have that up. I think sorry that the lists this week were, or like this season really, were kind of thrown together a little bit. I don't really have like a super great excuse for that, but I'm hoping that with we can do a similar situation in TPL. If we have if we have a lot of server activity and a lot going on, I think I'll probably kind of organize the same type of thing and have it more similar to Season 2's.
Well, things are looking pretty good so far with the server activity.
It's true. It's been
It's not even week 1.
Yeah.
Yep. Other than shout out to Sakura for posting some strange copy pastas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez. Anyways.
Also, shout out to Andrew and viewers like Andrew.
Oh, true. We hadn't done that yet.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, Andrew.
Yeah, we love you.
Yep.
Anyways, so shall we now move on to our Mon of the Week?
We should. Yes, our Mon of the Week is a Mon that I actually really like. It's possibly one of my new favorite Mons, which is Tornadus T.
Oh, I shouldn't have dropped you. I mean, the Priority God Squad was better with Scizor, but this thing would have been so much better.
Yeah, it's Torny T.
Hindsight, 2020.
I don't think I beat your team if you have Torny T, honestly. Like, that thing was
Yeah, that speed tier
pain.
would have just
Yeah.
next level.
So yeah.
Anyways,
Torny T, base 121 speed, just brutal boy, and on top of that, got Regenerator.
The loot
So-
pool of anything could ever want.
Yeah,
To be completely honest.
literally. I'll go over the stats real quick because I think it's important to note this has a pretty balanced stat distribution. We got 79 HP, 80 defense, 90 special defense, base 100 attack, base 110 special attack, and then the pretty damn fast 121 speed. So that bulk isn't it's not. I mean, it's probably just it's on the low edge of what I would consider usable bulk, right? It's usable bulk. Like, you pop an assault vest on this boy, and you've got a really good bulky defogger. Well, no, not defogger. Not assault vest. Leftovers. I was thinking leftovers. I said assault vest because I've been thinking about assault vests a lot lately, okay? Check that off your bingo cards. Cossack screwed up again.
About to say.
I think I've made that same mistake like 80 times now. I think I've made that same mistake probably 1 out of every 5 podcasts so far, at least, probably more. I think I'm going to continue making that mistake because, like, most of when I'm talking about Pokemon sets, you've probably noticed by now, I say some pretty stupid shit that doesn't work.
We're going to run that young Assault Vest bulk up set.
And I say this shit because my brain is just, like, I just say what immediately comes to my brain. I don't think about it, I just say it.
Sleep talk.
So anyway, yeah, this thing... It is, I will say, because of Regenerator, it is actually a very good defogger. Because if you just pop in real quick, defog, it can tank the rocks, defog off real quick, U-turn out. It gets U-turn out for the momentum. It gets its Regenerator, so most of, if not all of that rocks damage is gone. Well, but notable, I have to double check this. Because I should know the answer to this because I'm using it in the league, but it doesn't get roost.
No, it's
One
only
big
full
ass
coverage
bird
regenerator.
does not get roost.
Facts.
But
you run Resto Chesto with acrobatics.
Yeah, and its acrobatics is gonna hit like a freight train.
It's a fantastic Z Captain. Z Hurricane hits pretty hard. It has a
Oh
ton of
yeah,
really high base power moves like
Yeah.
Hurricane, Focus Blast, really fantastic.
And it
Defog
wants-
fits on almost every team. Taunt is a great. It's just a great utility pivot piece. Like it fits on such a wide variety of teams.
yeah.
Yeah, you forget how much of a problem it is when you don't have to play it sometimes. And also like it's another one of those things that just the stats don't tell the full story.
Yeah.
And even the move pool doesn't tell the full story in a way, because like at first you look at it and you're like, wow, this thing is relying on a 70% accurate move for its stab. Like, okay.
But perfect saying. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Indeed. And that I think that is more true for this mon than a lot of others. Not all others, but definitely
Not all
a lot
others, but I'd probably say about 75% of other
yeah,
mons.
like this thing, its move pool combined with its stats makes it a very flexible. Yeah, combined with its ability.
Typing.
Well, and it's just like there's so many things you can do in Draft League. It's brutal. You can tech it a lot of different ways. That speed gives it a lot of leeway with your teching.
You can see a mixed one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll do work every time. You don't even need to bring stab a lot. You just bring 3 coverage moves and you turn.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the spot where it shines is certainly like, yeah, you can tech it. Yeah, it has the mixed stats. It can afford to go neutral natured against some teams.
Yeah.
And also the speed tier is such that let's just for an example, in RDL season 3, like we're wrapping up that season now. I had to play the Tornadus Therian team kind of late in the season, playing Edgar's team, which was formerly Whitehawk. Yeah. Because he picked up Tornadus Therian when he jumped into the league. And the thing about it was like at first it was like, well, it's Tornadus Therian, Tornadus Therian can be dealt with. But the thing is that like I drafted a pretty quick team, Infernape, Starmie, stuff like that. But like when you realize that like this regenerating bird thing that's just going to pivot endlessly outspeeds everything on your team.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Side note, it also puts you on tilt because it looks like somebody the entire match.
All right. We're going to announce this to the world, by the way. I almost drafted this mod. I like to think I've gotten over the trauma. Let me grab the mic real quick. For those who don't know, Torny T, it looks like one of my ex-girlfriend's dads. So pretty spooky. Happy October, everyone.
I mean, if you're gonna drop that anecdote, today is the perfect day. It gets Tailwind, which can be really good if it fits a role on teams with that move. Taunt, it's a fast taunt user, which is never a bad thing to have on your team. A lot of things don't like getting taunted. Get Substitute, you can do dumb things with Substitute. Toxic. You know, it gets a remarkable support move suite.
And it's like it has all the things it needs.
Yeah.
You know, defog, U-turn, really like those. I mean, those two alone are just like solid. You know, you throw in Tailwind in there, that's nice. Like Tailwind makes this thing really great in doubles as well.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like this is
regenerating bird thing that can set tail like.
Oh yeah. Definitely. And also taunt is more powerful in doubles, I would say. Well, it's powerful in doubles.
It's about just as powerful, I think.
Okay. Fair. It is powerful though. We can agree on this, yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
And also, you know, it can, if you want it to go even faster, it has agility. So if you must outspeed every single MFer in the room except no substitutes.
So that except that somebody will sub on you as soon as you go for agility.
Oh yeah.
I know that's not what you meant, but
yeah.
It's because you want to be able to U-turn as fast as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To be honest, the real heat is Torment.
Right.
Bring Torment Tornadus T to your next match. Make choice users hate themselves.
I mean, you probably outspeed some Scarfers too.
Yeah.
You
The thing
almost
below
certainly.
base 80.
Yeah, you do outspeed some of the low tier Scarfers.
And that's if you that's one of those things where you have to acknowledge that. Like if you really think someone's bringing a low, you know, like a base 60 Scarfer against you, you have to kind of keep that number in mind and be like, yo, this is a week to run plus speed, even though I outspeed a whole lot of things, because beating Scarfers is awesome.
What you know about that Scarf Jellicent though?
Well,
Yeah,
and we talked about
that.
We talked about its coverage. It gets great coverage on both sides, which is always an important thing to consider here. Like special and physical, it's got really good coverage options. It's also got decent stab options on both sides.
It has a singular stab though.
Yeah. It does have a singular stab.
It's the only
mono flying type.
Yeah, the only mono flying type in existence. So
just kind of weird.
Other than, you know, I mean, we're counting
other Torn.
regular Torn.
Yeah.
Well.
It's the same Pokemon. Same dex number.
I mean,
it is quite interesting though that like the you know, because I remember when these like Therian forms came out and like everyone was hot on Lando, but like people were like, is Tornadus Therian actually better than regular Tornadus? Because regular Tornadus has like higher stats and Prankster for like Tailwind and, you know.
Wait, it's not the only mono flying.
Oh wait, what else?
Arcee is flying.
Oh, whatever. Doesn't count.
And Silvally. Hey, okay. All right, so do we have anything more to say?
Volley flying.
Oof.
I think that about covers it for Torny T, and that's gonna actually cover it for this week. I don't think we actually went that much under. I think we managed to. Yeah, we're actually about our usual time.
Oh, hey, look at us, always able to talk forever.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sure there was portions where we rambled way longer than we needed to, but I hope it was still enjoyable rambling, and hopefully there will be more enjoyable rambling next week. Next week we will hopefully be able to tell you about some TPL matches, if not all of them. We'll see.
Next week we'll be in the midst of them.
We'll be able
to tell you who's playing for the finals of RDL, and that's super.
Yeah, that's actually more important right now, currently, like, because it's more relevant, I should say. Not necessarily more important, but it is more relevant. And we'll be able to talk in detail about those matches, and maybe we'll be able to do more. Maybe we'll be able to do more AI coverage. We'll see how it shakes out. Yeah, it's looking to be a good. It's definitely the semifinals are shaping up to be really. Both matches are going to be really fun to watch. Probably going to be really interesting to play as well. I wouldn't know, but I can imagine. And TPL week 1 just around the corner. That's going to be exciting. Probably I don't think we'll do match coverage for TPL until week 2, because what we'll do is a week 1
Until week
coverage.
2,
Yeah.
Our week 2 would be.
Yeah, our week
Pretty
2
much
will be
coverage of
your
week
week 1 coverage of TPL. So we'll figure out something to fill time next week if we need to. We might not, considering how long we talk. Until then, may your drafts be good and may your picks not be sniped from you. Peace.
Oof.